very clear here. I'm not here to speak on behalf of Black women. That would be inappropriate for me to do. Um, and they don't need me to. If you've seen TikTok lately, you know Black women don't have no problem voicing their own thoughts and opinions. Sidebar, I have no idea what Joy Reid was talking about when she mentioned prioritizing Black men and Black women's movements. We need to send her a memo of clarification. Black women are out here saying loud and clear they aren't advocating for anyone else right now, especially for the next 4 years. They've made that abundantly clear. I'll cover that in another video. Now back to white women, because this is the topic du jour. Let's be real. You've got some dusty nerve, okay? I won't even get into the slavery aspect here. Let's keep it recent, within the past 120 years or so. Let's talk about the suffrage movement, where white women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony fought for rights, but only for white women. They blatantly sidelined Black women. That was betrayal number one. The historical evidence that white women's loyalty lies with race, not gender. Here's the thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with being race loyal, but white women online, whether on YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, are confused and frustrated about why Black women aren't jumping to participate in their causes, like the planned march in January. The answer is very simple, it's clear. Your agendas have a history of prioritizing your place within the white male patriarchy. If given a choice, you're more likely to choose protecting your position in that hierarchy over genuine gender equality. Black women owe you nothing, okay? Time and time again, you've shown where you stand, where your loyalties lie, not only during the suffrage movement, but even afterwards. The 19th Amendment was passed in 1920. That gave white women the right to vote, but Black women had to wait until the Voting Rights Act of 1965, 45 years later. In those 45 years, did white women advocate for Black women's rights? No, they did not. We can even look at more recent events, Black women's childbirth mortality rates, where Black women receive substandard care, inappropriate pain medication allocations, this assumption that because of their race that they're more stronger and can bear the pain better than other groups of women. Black women in this country die every 5.5 hours. You would think allies would know about it. We know that you don't, because there's been no advocacy about it. Even in the workplace, let's talk about the microaggressions Black women face from white women, both in the workplace and in public. We've all seen the videos of so-called Karens harassing Black women in all kinds of settings, thinking they can intimidate someone who might not retaliate. Fortunately, Black women are done with that too, judging by all of the recent videos I've seen of some good old-fashioned ass kicking. Black women stay multitasking, whooping Karen's ass at the same time she's holding the phone in the other hand, catching all the perfect angles. But I digress. That's just not something that interests white women, because it's not impacting. For instance, Black women were demonized, called masculine, had their womanhood questioned, loud, arrogant, aggressive, always constantly having their femininity compared to other groups of women, their attractiveness compared to other groups of women. And white women stay silent. Quite a few of you participated in that. So yeah, you're not good allies. If I had a choice of being friends, I'd rather not have it if they acted like this. But the moment these attacks shift to white women, you're quick to get people deplatformed or canceled. And please spare me the not all Black women argument or the I have a Black boyfriend, I have mixed race children. This isn't about you. It's about the collective history. Along with your fake allyship, you offer performative responses. I know everyone is focused on the brain fart that is your blue bracelet, whatever, okay? But that made me think. I was like, wait a minute, they've done this before. And you did do it before. I had to do some digging. You did it in 2016 with that election with Hillary Clinton against Fat Hitler. You did it then too. You voted for him overwhelmingly more than you voted for Hillary. Okay, yet another betrayal, huh? And then let the gaslighting begin, because the very next thing y'all started doing was, oh, well, we should listen to Black women. We should have listened to Black women. I'm going to wear a safety pin so that they know I'm a safe space. Sounds familiar? Isn't that exactly what you're doing now? You're throwing the rock and hiding your hand. And this time, Black women caught it. And if memory serves me correctly, after Hillary lost that 2016 election to Donald Trump due to the very poor performance of white women, you guys had a march then. You had that under a President Obama, okay? Now, you're trying to have to plan this march on January 18th with Donald Trump. To be honest, I don't think they're going to be using rubber bullets this time. If you looked at who he's been hiring lately to fill his administration, they seem to be not too woman-friendly. If it wasn't for public service, the men he's choosing would probably be active school shooters. But that's who you voted for. I don't know what to tell you. Now let's look at the voting data. White women overwhelmingly supported Donald Trump. After that, how can you still bring up Me Too? That movement, which a black woman created, was quickly co-opted and made all about white women's stories, while black women's experiences were pushed aside. The movement got monetized too, with no benefits trickling down to black women. Then there are those of you who do date black men, who openly trash black women. Do you ever stand up to them? No, you encourage it. White women have always had a me mentality, joining in on the insults against black women, but staying silent as long as it doesn't affect them directly. Yet the minute those same men say something about white women, you're mobilizing to get them taken down from platforms. Just like Fresh and Fit, just like Andrew Tate, even other white women, just like Just Pearly Things. And here's another perfect example of how you weaponize your whiteness. A black woman once spoke about feeling safer with a white man than a white woman in a corporate environment. Comparing her safety in the boardroom to choosing between a white man and a white woman, she would choose the white man. The response from white woman, you got to demonetize the platform, and you ran off of TikTok. She's now on Patreon. Okay, let's talk power. White women, you have power, but you don't use it to uplift other women. In fact, you often use it to oppress, especially black women, specifically black women. Why would black women support you? Why would they support you and your movements continually? After that election, you've shown that you'd rather back someone like Trump, a man with numerous accusations and open hostility towards marginalized groups, and especially women. And don't even try the "who are you voting for" lie. We all know the truth. A lot of people ask many white women who they were voting for, and they lied without hesitation. Just lied faster than the Walmart transaction, claiming support for Kamala over Biden when it's not true. Let's be clear, black women have always been on the front lines, even when it's not their fight. Majority of the time, it's not their fight. Okay, you can go down the list from Trayvon Martin to George Floyd. So many black women marched and put themselves at risk, some of them losing vision or bearing scars because they were hit with beanbag rounds and rubber bullets. And yet, who among you would do the same? This is what black women are saying time and time again. White women demonstrate that they'll align with power even if it's harmful to others, including black women. And when it comes to social movement, white women often cherry pick what benefits them using their voices selectively. Meanwhile, black women use their voice for everybody. Case in point, some of the loudest voices for the Stop Patient 8 movement was black women. LGBT, trans rights, black women. Let's put this in a historical context. Black women are no strangers to the betrayal of white women. From the suffrage movement to workplace discrimination, black women have often found themselves unprotected. When they see white women standing by or even cheering on black men who demean black women, it's clear where their loyalties lie. And now, after so much dismissal, white women wonder why black women are stepping back, prioritizing themselves for the next 4 years, instead of joining these marches. Let's be honest, there's a long pattern here. When black women speak up, they are met with dismissal and sometimes direct opposition. Even in modern-day workplace settings, black women are often undercut, overlooked, targeted by the very white women who claim to be allies. And these aren't isolated cases. There are thousands of documented stories, videos, and firsthand accounts of Karens going after black women in the workplace. The reality is this: black women have continually offered support to movements that ultimately lead them out or push them to the side. They've shown support for the LGBT rights, as I mentioned before. They showed support for black men countless times, ridiculously the amounts of times. Only recently, a few cases, black women said, hands off. And literally that was the beginning of them realizing, no, I don't have to support everybody. I certainly do not have to support someone who hates me, who advocates for violence against me, who is least likely to choose me. And not only that, invite others to demean me. Black women have shown support for various social causes and for other women and white women. But when it comes time for those groups to reciprocate, often Black women are left on their own, just like on election day. So white women, you're now seeing the consequences of that history, of inconsistency, of self-prioritization. Black women are tired. They've said, hashtag we are done, hashtag I am done. They've clocked out for the next 4 years. In fact, they've burned the capes, took off those sports bras, threw them little marching boots in the trash, and they're gonna be at home chilling with a mimosa and a freshly pedicure and manicure, relaxing. They are no longer willing to put themselves on the front lines for people who don't do the same. Quite frankly, for people who wouldn't piss on their neck if it was on fire. The message is very clear from this point going forward. Black women are choosing themselves, and honestly, it's long overdue.